Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Ghost Recon Future Soldier on Hardcore difficulty, which is the PC exclusive hardest difficulty. And we are on Mission 11. It's entitled Invisible Bear. And since we're in Russia, the Russian symbol for... I was just looking this up, just kind of a mascot for Russia is the bear. It's not always used in the most flattering context because bears are often construed as being big and oafish and kind of clumsy, but hey, I'm not dissing anybody here. I'm trying to complete this guide, and we're almost there, you guys. In the invisible part, where it says Invisible Bear, that is referring to the Spec Ops that we'll be fighting in this chapter, who are very difficult because they throw in EMPs. Now, if you want EMPs, you can use them, but they're going to be throwing EMPs at you too. So when they throw the EMPs, the effect lasts about 10 seconds, and I'll discuss it when we get there because it's a protracted fight. At least it's divided up by a checkpoint, but your goal here is to get past the tank, and it's extremely easy. I don't remember it being hard on Elite difficulty, and it's certainly not hard here. It's a tad bit trickier since while you're moving, you're not in the ghost mode. And it's been so long since I even played Elite difficulty that I don't even know what ghost mode would feel like. It would be a really simple mode, if you can just move around the whole time. Invisible. So we're not taking out too many targets here. We're just doing a little bit of stealth. This is going to be a longer chapter. This chapter took me 45 minutes on Guide 1. And then we'll be in the final chapter, which a lot of people, I haven't done it yet. I personally haven't done it. I'll probably be struggling a lot and be ready to condemn it and things like that. But I think I'm ready for it, and I can do it, and I will do it. I set my mind to things, and I do it. So, just beware of the tank. My loadout consists of the grenade launcher and the sniper rifle. If you don't have a sniper rifle, they're going to give you some because there's a sniping section coming up, which I don't really care for too much. I've sped this next part up, where you run up. It says 15 flights of stairs, but they don't make you do that many. I think they make you do half that many, but I've sped it up anyway. So once you've waited for your teammates, you'll just go up these stairs. And this section actually is it's not really challenging. It just annoyed me quite a bit. So the checkpoint is right here, so each time you die, you'll have to take these two guys out, but don't worry about it because there is another checkpoint coming up. So take one of their sniper rifles if you don't have it. Oh, I had the PDC, sorry about that. So take their sniper rifle, and I'm not sure. Let me see if I go get use the ammo box and fill up. Yeah, you can fill up now, and you can also fill up post checkpoint. So what's going to happen here is they want you to set off the whole chain of events by killing this guy right there, and then that will set off the presidential arriver timer. Man, I need to learn how to speak. Hopefully this guide will teach me how to do it, huh? But we have 7 minutes to complete the task. You have more than enough time. So at this point, we're taking out these guys over here, and you're going to be seeing me very bad at aiming. Not only because I'm bad at aiming, but because the sensitivity is so low with the default sensitivity settings and no way to upgrade it or adjust it so that it's more sensitive than it is. It makes for an exacerbating situation here. But at this point, we're going to have, once you've taken the enemies out on the left building, will have enemies to take out on the right building. And the only times I got killed here were my own fault. It was taking too many shots. Like once you get shot and it has the little area where like the angle at which you got shot, just don't take any more shots. And the thing about this is you aim at a window and then it turns into a brick wall. I don't understand what it is. I don't know if it's something about loading or the game's just purposely trying to anger you and annoy you. But all we're doing here is looking for glints across the way. There's a glint, an aim, and you can see the profile of the piece of jack shit that's hiding between the... See? You aim at... Maybe it's just the draw distance, but I have met the max settings for this game, and I haven't experienced many issues about draw distance. So maybe all of those windows that lack boards are actually not windows. Maybe they're concrete slabs and it's just draw distance. So at this point, before the chopper comes, which is the indicator that the checkpoint's coming, you just want to try to shoot these guys. And when I say try, just try better than I am, because I'm horrible. There's a checkpoint. And I died more times after the checkpoint, to be honest, because I wasn't aware that the enemies kept spawning over there to the left. I thought, you take care of building 1 and then building 2, but it doesn't quite work like that. And one of the challenges that you can do, the optional challenges, is to get 15 headshots, but they have to be consecutive. So I don't know if that means that there are 15 targets in this area. There probably are. You probably have to kill 15 enemies, but if you get 15 headshots in a row, more power to you, because I can barely even get these guys killed, to be honest with you. And one small issue is that the sparks that are flying from the sign that the helicopter just shot out kind of mess with your head a little bit, because we're looking for glints across the way, like I mentioned, the lens flare, things like that, and then you assume that what you're seeing is a spark and it could be a glint, and vice versa. But the glints are pretty well defined. The best thing to do, quite honestly, just have your teammates kill the people for you. It's very helpful. Once you know where the enemies are, mark them quickly, and your teammates do a great job of killing them. And this is over before it has to be too much of a burden on the player. It's a memorable sequence, only because of its uniqueness, not because I ever had any real fun here. And then the next section is the one that really takes the cake. Thank God they give you a checkpoint, because it's like 3 or 4 battles with the Spec Ops, and the Spec Ops are invisible. They're in ghost mode, but they can be revealed with EMPs, which disable their tech and render them normal without the ghost mode. Or you can, did I say that? You can just use the magnetic mode and you can see them. However, if they throw an EMP, then you can no longer use the magnetic mode for about 10 seconds. All you can really do is, you can still shout orders, you can still shoot and everything, but you have no reticle to aim. They take the reticle off. So what you want to do is, I like to just stand behind this box here, this stack of boxes. In my experience, I never had time to sprint back to where I came from, because it seems like this is a little less safe than that concrete slab behind us. But just melee these guys. I can't believe, and I'm happy for it, and I'm not dissing the game or anything, I'm just saying it's incredible. I think you get full iframe immunity when you're doing melee kills, but that just could be my imagination. It probably is. But you feel so empowered when you're doing those melee kills. It's such a badass thing to do. just curb stomp the bitches. So in my experience, I usually get rushed by 2 spec ops, and then the rest can be, delegate responsibility to your teammates. And I was wrong earlier in the game when I said I didn't think there were any like heavy enemies with heavy body armor, but these guys actually do have heavy body armor. So they throw frags, and then they also throw EMPs. So you want to be using the sniper rifle because it hits right through solid objects. Even when they're purple, it might take 2 hits, but still that's better than, not being able to do it. So hopefully they will throw an EMP so I can demonstrate how this works. But when you're in EMP mode, you have no HUD, you have no reticle, like I said, but you can still command orders. Is he throwing an EMP? If they throw an EMP at you, you'll just have a little sign on you that says EMP, and all your tech is unavailable for about 10 seconds. I think it's pretty fair. They could have permanently disabled it until, some other factor kicked in, like, I don't know, maybe you would have to, your teammates would have to heal you or something, or give you the tech back somehow. But goddamn, when they say hardcore, this is like the first truly hard experience for like a gunfight. So this is the first time I've been back here in a year. It's the first time I've been up here, so I'm going to be very careful about what I'm doing. And then when you get up here, it's going to be another spawn, wave 2, no checkpoint. But as long as you can survive this, you can secure yourself a checkpoint. I would not go. You see where Ghost Lead is over to my left? I would not go there because they can actually shoot through the wood and wound you. Instant kills here are very common. Very common. You'll have all of your HP recovered. Bam, you're dead. This is really frustrating. And it goes on after the checkpoint too. So best thing to do, like I said, delegate responsibility, shoot through walls, throw frags. But what I don't like about this game, and it's really cheap, when you throw frags, that's when they start throwing frags, and it's just tit for tat bullshit that I really hate. It's just, it seems childish almost. But another thing, when you're staying behind here, this is a really good place of cover. Do little pop shots and don't even aim, don't even zoom in if necessary. Just zoom in at your own risk is what I'm trying to say there. Don't heal anybody. Nobody's gonna rush you if you're staying back here, and just don't move. Don't move. So everybody's fallen, so it's going to be our job to take care of the remaining guys. But it shouldn't be too hard because, like I said, they don't rush you. And now everybody's revived. And I'm going to try to get this weapon box. Oh, a couple more people. Is this wave 3? This must be wave 3. But it's a very brief wave, you guys. Okay, so I couldn't example that. In the next, I'm literally commentating this and just fresh off this fight, so that's how I do things. So maybe in the next fight I'll get hit by an EMP, so I can example how that is. And I studied English, but I don't know if you can use example as a verb, so I'll have to double check that because I often say it. I try to make sure that I know what the hell I'm talking about. But once you get this far, there's no need to worry, even though you see me walking very slowly because I have no idea if I have to do this entire room without a checkpoint. But fortunately they give you a checkpoint. It's a fair checkpoint. After 3 waves, on this difficulty, one-shot kills are so common. It's fair. So let us go up this ramp, get get the checkpoint that I mentioned, refill our ammo, and then we will take on the next wave. Okay, so we have that checkpoint there. That's very helpful. I mean, if this entire warehouse had to be done without a checkpoint, I don't know. I hate fumbling for some kind of a definition or some kind of a justification or a reason. Could I do it or not? I don't know. You just take what you're given in these games, but this isn't too bad overall. The fight on the street, I think it's the hardest fight in the game. And a lot of it has to do with the bogged down way in which, and just the absence. The character just feels heavy sometimes. That's what I meant by bogged down. But the absence of any sensitivity settings make the whole process of aiming inconvenient and dangerous for the player. Because the enemies can aim as fast as hell they want to aim at you. So I haven't really, in fact, I haven't been tagging enemies at any given point. Depending on how many teammates you have alive, you can mark targets. I don't usually do it because again, I'm fumbling for words. I don't know. Here's some great clipping for you in a second. You'll see some great clipping. Yep, hate that. I don't know, why I don't mark targets, but there comes a point when marking them means the difference of winning a fight and keeping them alive. That's, when I start to mark them. So, if you have 3 teammates available, if you have all your squad alive, you can target up to 3 adversaries on the other side for them to focus on. They can even focus on things that aren't enemies, like tanks, to blow tanks up. Propane tanks or cars. And they do a fantastic job of helping. There's no other way to put it. You'll see in the fight out in the street, they pretty much cleaned the entire fight up for me on Wave 3. And that's not to say I struggled, because it took me 3 hours to beat this fucking fight out here. It's ridiculously hard. And it is a little bit down. Not really to... shit. Is it luck? Is it really luck that makes you win a fight like this? I would say probably there is a little bit involved, and nobody likes when that's a factor. Hell, I hate it, to be honest. A fight should be all about skill and have no luck variables in it, if I can talk. I'm learning how to talk with each guide, you guys. Learning how to talk without stuttering and being a stupid retard when I'm trying to talk. But the more of your teammates that you can keep alive, the better. But do you have any control of the teammates? Yes and no. Here I'm going back. This will give me a good chance to talk. Like on Spec Ops: The Line, I was criticizing that game a lot for having the squad mates fall down and cover. However, if I had made them go out in the field and target fewer people, they would have stayed alive longer. But that's their function in the game. And here's another problem with this game. When the comrades fall back and cover, why the fuck do they just lay where they are? There should be an attempt by them to crawl back to where you are so that you can safely revive them. It makes no sense to have them just lay there. This is a video game, for God's sakes, So, that was changed. I don't know when Gears of War 2 started to do it, maybe even as early as Gears 2. I know they do it in Gears 3 in Judgment, but I almost contemplated restarting this chapter here because it was just frustratingly difficult, this fight here. So, I can't remember if I just go guns blazing at first, not giving a damn, or if I do try to get some kills right away. So we'll have to see what happens. This is Wave 1. So it looks like I'm employing the drone here. So I like to involve the teammates here. I like to have them shoot everybody for me. Does that put them in more peril? Inadvertently, yeah, it does. But I would rather have them do my own bidding and work at my own behest rather than just have the computer arbitrarily decide who. Look, see, you have to have your teammates working for you on all these encounters. They're, like I said, they're fantastic, and I'm not being, sarcastic about it. They do a goddamn great job. They'll take care of the sniper in the window for you, whom we won't be able to hit since we'll be staying back so far that the zoom won't even, be able to find him, hardly. It's either that or the range of the bullets can't reach him. I have no idea. But I think it's unfair. I think after Wave 2, the player should be given a checkpoint. So, you have a grenade launcher. You should have a grenade launcher. I'm only going to be crafting weapons for my own benefit that I unlock through the natural progression of the game. So that, here is a, did not want to do that. Heal everybody at any chance that a teammate is behind cover. Go over to him and heal him, but don't do it at your extreme peril, obviously. But there's very little risk in Wave 1. Wave 1, you want to save your frags. There's a box of ammo coming up, but it's only a one type deal. There's another one further up, but it's more risky to do and get to because the one that's coming up is before the tripwire point of Wave 2. So what I'm going to do is ignore the ammo box and use all 3 of my frags immediately. They're going to come from over here, and this is the way the screen is going to have to look in magnetic mode because I need to see what the hell I'm doing here. It's impossible to do this the other way. So immediately start tagging people for your teammates and tag. You see where number 4 was a moment ago? That guy needs to be taken care of because he's a sniper. This guy wanted some action, so we're going to give that guy a beatdown, motherfucker. You don't do that on my watch, bitch. And then it is a little bit of a randomness here, but I do like to immediately stay behind these sandbags. If people throw nades your way, go behind the SUV, the Humvee over to the right. And I have so I have the sniper rifle and I also have the rocket launcher. Do not use the grenade launcher. Excuse me. If you use the grenade launcher here, and you expect to get a refill from the box, you'll be crying because it doesn't give you one. It does give you your frag grenades back. So we're using frag grenades on this wave and the next wave. We're saving them for the hard waves. So surprisingly, my teammates are still alive. They're staying back. They've dispatched the snipers over to the left for me, and that's how you have to work this. Issue heal commands. Ghost leads down, so somebody's got to go pick him up. So we're going to issue those heal commands. And the less you get out of cover here, the better. It seems cowardly, and I hate to just stand behind cover, but this is a squad-based shooter, and have the game work for you the way it's supposed to work. Because the amount of times I died here, I'm not embarrassed by it, but it's realistically like over 30 times probably. So once everybody gets to their feet, if they're fallen in combat, that means Wave 2's over. We're going to replenish. We're mainly just replenishing our frag grenades. So have everything reloaded, have your loadout the way you want it, and then we're going to cross over the next tripwire point, which is up a ways. And this is the final wave. So get the grenade launcher on, stand behind the sandbags, not that tank, because the tank screws with your aiming, it sucks. So shoot this thing down, and then start tossing frags like a bitch. But right here, it doesn't even let you do hold the shoulder button. And what we need to do is throw these frags over this car here. For all those people that were jumping out of that tank, that enemy convoy, we need to dispatch. And I didn't do a very good job there because I was behind the tank for a minute. So this is the time where your teammates could either fall down in combat or not. And I hate that about some games like this. But do your best to assign your squad mates to kill these shield guys. But for some reason, I'm having a hell of a time telling them, being able to put the shoot marker over them. Maybe it doesn't let you do it. I have no idea. It should. I don't know why it wouldn't. So there are many a times when my teammates just fall down in combat. And obviously, if your teammates are alive, they can go do your bidding. Like I said, here's some more shield enemies. You have to hit them through their little shield or their body parts. Fortunately, this is a pretty good location, but look at what's going on here. We've got a sniper way in the distance. See, the game wants you to be further up, but I prefer to stay back and just take all of the advantages that you possibly have, shooting them from the side when those shield guys are occupied elsewhere. And you see, this whole time I was trying to tell my teammates by clicking the right bumper to hit them, but it never came up. So maybe the game doesn't let you. Maybe they have to be turned to the side. Maybe I was aiming at the shield and the game prohibits that. But you see the sniper, the trail of the sniper bullet every time. And this guy is a problem because I believe he's just too far down the street for me to hit him. I've never been able to kill this guy, but fortunately your teammates can kill him for you. So, I mean, I think if you went up the next piece of cover, you'd be able to see this guy, but see, the game wants you to be further up than you are. And I'm not saying he's impossible to kill, I'm just saying I could never hit him. And it's probably because of my aim as well. But I'm just saying, okay, so see, the teammate took him out. And now there's more enemies. I have no idea where they're coming from. I'm not daring to move from here because I was so pissed at this part. I didn't want to risk anything. But fortunately, I have a couple of teammates alive still. And looks like all three of them are alive now. Hopefully they should be soon. And they ended up clearing the people that were left. Here I'm taking a pretty bold move to do this, even though in hindsight it wasn't bold, but who knows? And I've been shot in the back so many times on this difficulty. So Pepper's down, everybody's down. I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably going to have to start participating more. But that means going in no man's land, and I don't want to do it. What it is it's probably one guy left, and they took care of him. So I hope that those tips helped you guys out. But you're going to have to depend a little bit on the luck factor regarding the frequency with which your teammates are going to drop and fall on you and not be able to aid you when you need them the most. Okay, so now as we push our way up here, make sure that you have your TAR-21 equipped, and let's see what they give you here. They give you at least one round because it has a little, what I'm guessing is sort of a tutorial. At this point, you don't need one, but they give you one to use. So what I would recommend is to throw grenades. I think they refill your grenades here too, so they may, I'm saying may, I'm not sure, they may give you some supplies, a refill of your ammo. You can always go over to the left at the weapon box at your own risk, but just toss nades, have your teammates destroy these BTRs, and then we'll get a transition. It's going to be pretty abrupt. A couple of these sections here will be pretty abrupt. It's a weird billboard with the bull right over there. If you rewind that, really weird. So we're going to regroup into this restaurant right there. I didn't notice that going in, but this section it's not that difficult. You've got 2 ammo refills in this room, so you've got a couple of grenades at your disposal. So you'll want to be throwing grenades at the transport jeeps, and then at the the BTRs, you want to use your grenades and then use the command orders to have your teammates. Your teammates surprisingly do a really fast job, very swift job at taking those things out. And I'm always kind of curious as to why they would even have like standard bullets be able to take out those tanks, but you know, because it's just a ridiculous prospect. But anyway, when you come in here, I like standing back here. It's pretty safe. You'll get rushed a couple of times. Well, I should only say it's only one time I think that you get rushed on average. You'll get a pair of rushers, and I think they come in this wave here. But as I said before, you do get the upper hand. There's no iframe. I don't know about the iframes in this game. There's certainly a lot more than the evil within. But a lot of the scenarios that I've been confusing in this campaign, a lot of that confusion, it stems from having played the Raven Strike DLC after I did the main campaign. Here's a rusher. They just kind of do that football, you know, going for the goal charge, and just do that charge in here. So you'll just want to hang back here. You know, whenever there's a BTR, take that thing out first, and then just take out all the enemies here. There is a checkpoint, which is a pretty fair courtesy of the game. I wouldn't expect to even get a checkpoint here. But if you're wondering, all the checkpoints from Elite to this difficulty, they're all the same. I'm saying that up until this chapter. I have not played the next chapter. I'm still doing the commentary, and I will do that. So hopefully, I know it's going to give me a lot of trouble, but it's one of those things where I know a lot more about the game now. I know about using teammates, and it just involves a little luck. I think just getting to the first checkpoint, you know, the very end of the game, is pretty difficult. But then I also think there's another difficult checkpoint. It's just getting from checkpoint to checkpoint is the real issue there. And you know, okay, so there's the checkpoint. Here's the transport dropping off some cargo in here for us to kill. And a joke like this, do you see I have the subtitles on? A joke like that is pretty rare in a game like this. Like, it's a pretty corny joke the way they say that, but not often in this game. And that's why I like this game so much. Not often in this game do the comrades really, you know, do tongue-in-cheek, like messing around. It's all serious on a very professional level. Like, I can't begin to describe my disappointment after I played Army of Two, and then I played Army of Two 40 Days or whatever the fuck it was, the sequel. And all it was a game that wasn't taking itself seriously, with just over the top action and an annoying Nolan North presence. Like, that is a game that it's just so much repetition, so much of the same bland shit all over the place. And this game has a great design to it. I mean, somebody asked me, what's your favorite chapter? And I don't know which my favorite chapter is. I know which one is my least favorite chapter. Is chapter 5, obviously, in the snow. But a lot of this, I wasn't really going to do a guide for this hardcore. I mean, I started it. I made a lot of tentative steps to do it, but it's like a real campaign. It's the camaraderie is there, the fun factor is there. Like when you think back on a campaign like this, it's so engrossing and such a great, just all in all out adventure that, like, walking away from it, you feel very satisfied, and you can't say that about many games. I mean, the campaigns, the single players, you know, they're always going to be there, but some of them are just really, really special. And when I played this game, I started to research all the Tom Clancy games, and you know, a lot of them are in first person. Some of them are called Splinter Cell, and I think this is like the best marriage of action and stealth for me. And I can't recommend this game high enough, and I probably will do the DLC for it, for Raven Strike, on hardcore. I mean, first of all, I don't know if there's a hardcore. I don't know if the hardcore extends to the DLC. If anybody knows, let me know. So we have to destroy the BTR, and just delegate the responsibility mostly. I'm sorry about having to put the magnetic view on the screen so much. I know it's pretty ugly to look at, but it's the best way through the game, because the targets are so small on this game, and it's just a great way of instantly knowing what you need to take care of at a glance. And perhaps that is a small criticism that I could level at the game, but it's kind of the same way in other games where they have alternate perspectives, like in the Batman games, you know, where you do the detective mode and it's black and white. But the necessity is definitely a factor on gunfights. So you don't spend every waking moment of your campaign in this game in this mode. You know, for the gunfights, it's just of paramount importance to know where people are. But this game is, on this difficulty, it's not, so far, I haven't beat it. Hell, I might not even beat it, because the final section could be inordinately difficult. Now, I have some interesting things to say about this room. It's my least favorite room in the entire game, just for the fact that it's just so cluttered, and you have to use this mode, and it's unappealing to look at. These guys just have a lot of body armor. You can hit them a couple of times, and then they should die with this sniper rifle. But when I was on my hands and knees with this character, like evading the turrets and trying to just, you know, by tooth and nail get to the ammo with all the odds against me, even though this room is my least favorite in the game, it's still goddamn fun of a game. And that says a lot about something that, you know, an area of the game that you don't like, but you still are having fun. And mostly it's just the clutter and all the desks in the way. That's the main issue. So you've got a couple of these guys here. We're almost done with this level. So, you know, you go ahead and use your grenade launcher if you want to. The sniper rifle is your best ticket here to safely dispatching enemies from a distance through the desks and everything on all the tables and chairs and everything. So you might get seasick looking at the screen when I'm getting suppressed here. The thing I was mistaking over here was I thought I was getting headshots on these guys when I was shooting them, but I wasn't taking into account that they had like that shield in front of them. So that was my complete mistake, and it's just one of those things where your eyes get fooled in that different perspective. So this was the point at which I was saying, you know what, even though I don't like this room, just the fun factor of this whole shit of immediately dropping down on all fours and crawling around, knowing that I probably won't die since the bullets come at chest high level and I'm literally hugging the tiles in the ground. I made a small mistake here. I picked up this and I already had it equipped, so in a moment you'll see me go back to it after I realize that I have 2 of those now. To do that little spin on the ground, I said earlier you have to double tap left or right, but it is actually only 1 press left or right on the left directional stick. Although it works more frequently for me when I double tap. So this room consists of 2 waves actually. Once you take the guys out behind the turrets and or progress up a certain distance up the room, because I say and or because I don't know if there is a tripwire point up ahead. The reason I don't know that is because I took out the guys behind the turrets first and then dealt with the shield guys after them. So this is the last fight of the chapter, and then it's just a matter of killing the guy in the next sequence. So I think they have helmets on, but when I switched to my my automatic machine gun, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what guns are called. You know, I'm not a Call of Duty player that knows everything about the guns. But whatever it is, you know, the assault rifle. The assault rifle dropped these guys really quickly. And it's probably because it has a little spread to it and it hit around the shield is what I was thinking. So you might also be wondering, why am I not ordering command shots for these enemies here? Believe me, I was trying to, but I don't know if it's being suppressed and having the screen shaking so much, I couldn't do it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some things hiccup a little bit in this game, some things they don't, nothing works perfectly in any game. So, okay, so at this point I said, okay, this is not working whatsoever, I need to switch guns, because these are the last 2 foes before this wave ends, and, you know, I've been on this chapter long enough. So, I shoot a grenade at him, it does absolutely nothing. I wasn't surprised since I didn't get the orange reticle. So, look how easy that kill was. I guess they don't have any defenses like at their chest levels and leg levels. So anyway, just be careful as you make your way up, because there's going to be, I think 1, maybe 2 shield enemies, and they will come either left or right. You can depend on them coming from a particular direction. They're going to come whichever way you're coming. So if you're staying on the left side of the room, that's exactly where they're coming from. So if you stay in the middle, then you might get a little bit of a coin toss. Sometimes if you favor a certain side of the room, they'll come there. But just, you know, when it says contact, just stop moving and just take care of these guys, because they're pretty deadly. And they're an interesting enemy. I would have been annoyed to have seen them more frequently in this game, but it would have been, I think the game would have benefited from different types of these types of enemies. So yeah, it is only 1 guy here. So just take advantage of him when your teammates are firing at him and he's moving in different directions. You can hit the side of him, he should go down pretty quickly. And then that is a room that's entirely clear. So I'm not sure what the delay is, but yeah, there we go. Clear. So we're going to regroup. Don't bother to get the ammo, because there's ammo coming up as well. Or you can just get it now and not get it then. Save your time. But this next part's going to be sped up as we climb the ladder. So it's definitely been one of the harder levels possibly the hardest level so far. So this is the final sequence. You're going to plant C4 on this wall here, and all you need to do is take care of any targets you see in your wake, and then kill the president. I have a pretty good strategy of going prostrate and killing people from like at the perspective of the table level, like the legs of the table. So the president's behind his desk, but kill his helpers. His shitty little lackey helpers. And the best thing to do, I found, is just walk away from the desk, because you can't go prostrate whilst in cover mode, and then just take care of them. I'll see you in the next chapter.
Overlord, HVT eliminated.
Roger, Hunter. Time to disappear.
We already